Morning, y'all. Wade here, coming to you from the Classic Diecast Garage. Uh, Thanks for tuning in to this new episode, and hope you guys enjoy it. So once again, I'm going to start off with some older stuff that I've been finding in my collection. And without further ado, let's get started. So, real quick here. So I finally found this. This was the very first treasure hunt that I ever found. This is called a roll cage. It does have Real Rider tires on it. Back in those days, and I can't remember when this was, it was the early 2000s. Some came with Real Riders and some not. So anyway, I did crack this open. So like I said, this is the very first treasure hunt that I ever found. So still have it in my collection and glad to have this one. So, all right, so let's start with some old carded stuff. So these here, so back in the day, they had Hot Wheels Classics. And they even had chases back, and this was in late 1990s. So the way you could tell, there was two ways to tell on these. One is this little sticker here is actually a sticker. It's a foil sticker. On the other ones, it was just kind of molded into the card. And the other way you could tell was a chase was it had Real Rider tires on it. So I did find these in store, and this is I believe this is a CUDA, right? Challenger. So was happy to find that one, and then I have this is an old casting actually. The Deco Delivery, once again, little foil sticker on there, and there's that one. Like I said, found these in the store. I didn't find a lot of them. In fact, I think these are probably the only two I found. Well, actually, I can't say that. I found four. Well, no, I'm sorry. Classic, the classics. And then they used in the I think it was like 2000, the Hot Wheels Hot Ones used to have chases also. And so I don't know if you can see it, but the chases had red lined wheels, and it actually said Hot Wheels on there in between the red lines. So found this one. So I think I found some more of these, but I think I might have traded them off. So here's a 55 Nomad. You can see it's got that raised white letters and whatnot. I think maybe I have a few more, but they're in the collection in their respective boxes of these castings. So got to show those also late 1990s, early 2000 for those. And then I've picked up quite a few of these. These are from 1998 and 1999. So back in the day, they had these action packs. Unfortunately, stopped making them, but at this one here, it's a surf scene with a Jeep and a boat and some figures. And I think this was the one, there was a variation on this. So they have white skin, and they had one that had dark skin on it. I don't have that one, never did find it, but these little dioramas are really, really cool. I love picking up these things, and they had some cool ones and they had some wacky ones. So this is another one, late 90s, Home Improvement. Don't know if you guys have seen this, but very cool. Unfortunately, rubber bands break and figures fly around inside. So that's what happened to Tim. He's kind of a mess there on his lawnmower. But toolbox, Al, and 34 convertible. So very cool. I'm glad I have that one, found that one. Here's some from the early 2000s. This was a wacky one that I really liked. So I had to pick this one up, and it's called the Scum Chums. So you have the alligator and the toilet. I think this is the only time they ever released this casting. Never came out as a basic, but we all know this one, the toilet. And once again, rubber band broke, so figures come out of there, but this is a really cool one. Glad to have this one in my collection. There's another one. This is a surfing scene. So very cool, 55 Nomad. A couple of figures in there with surfboards, and then the 40 Ford Woody, and it's got surfboards on the roof. So this is a really cool one too. That's why I kept these on the card. I love the dioramas on those. And then the last one I got here is Al's Toy Barn from Toy Story 2. So I actually have one of these open, but I don't know what I did with the figures. I have the car, but I don't know. So you got Woody and all the family there on this one. So this is very cool to have in the collection. So hope you enjoyed that. And then so I got a mail call. I made a purchase off of or from hot off the, oh my gosh, I can't believe I can't remember his name. Hot off the wheels. Sorry, dude. Sorry. But he had posted some stuff on Instagram, and he has a YouTube channel, but he hasn't used it for a long time. So big shout out to him. Hope he checks out this video. Anyway, he posted some stuff on Instagram, and it was a set of Racing Champion cars. And I told him I asked him if he didn't sell it, if he would be willing to sell these two pickups that were in that set. So he contacted me, and we got a deal made. And so I have these two. I'm gonna crack these open real quick. Two Ford pickup trucks. Glad to add these to my collection. So let's get this. I'll try to make this as quick as possible since I gotta crack them open. Got my handy dandy EDC. So let's crack this one open. And I'm gonna show you on the second one what happens to some of the old Racing Champions castings, because they were made out of, they just used some bad metal. And so a lot of times, some of these older ones, the years that they use the bad metal will just like disintegrate or break up in your hand. So if you ever buy these, just be gentle with them, because you don't want to break them. I had one and I actually totally broke the hood. So nice to have that. And I think I might have them all now of this casting. So nice gold colored Ford pickup truck. They all have the same wheels on them. It does have opening hood. Not much detail in there, but it does have a motor. So let's get to this one now. And it's all right, brother. Don't worry about it. I don't know if this maybe broke in transit or if it was just broken, but I understand what goes on with these cars, and it's all good. Only the hinges broke on the car itself. So these are also, now see, this one came in a little box. The other one did not. These are also from the late 90s, early 2000s. I couldn't find any dates on these things. So anyway, I gotta see if I can get this out of the box. There's a lot of packaging here. Don't need that. Don't need that. If I could figure out where the hood went. Oh, there it is. Okay, so The hinges on this just snapped off, like I said, because it was cheap metal. So the other one I had, the hood just disintegrated, so that's why I had to buy a new one that actually had the hood. So actually, if you see this, okay, so this is metal base. The base is cracked. I don't know if you guys can see that, but it's still one piece, so it's just going to go into my collection as a, let's see if I can get this on here. Sorry, I'm kind of wasting a lot of time here, so actually I might have to change. I might use this hood on the other one. So anyway, thank you, brother, for helping me out with these. I got them on a smoking deal, and I appreciate you, and hopefully we can do some more dealings another time. I think we've done some stuff before. So now to the new finds that I found the last, I don't know, week and a half or so. Oh, and I did, so I showed you the Chase, and I had the regular of this, this F-150 4x4. But when I took it apart, because it was a model kit, and I put the wheels on it, it was really short, and I like my trucks at least a little bit lifted. So I actually did a base swap on this, so it's actually higher than what it came out of the package as. So, but I really love the old 70s paint job on this car, on this truck. So anyway, glad to have that one. And I know I keep saying that all the time, but I'm just glad to have stuff in my collection that I love, that I just really dig. Okay, so finally found this one. Not just because it's a Chase, but I collect this casting, and so it's the Pantone Bronco. Actually walked into Target, and I guess they just stocked these. They're one per case. So, hallelujah! I found it myself in the store. So, and then I picked this one up. So a lot of Bronco stuff coming up here. You know what? Let me do this first. And the only really Hot Wheels I found was, I found these two. Now, I don't know if you can see the difference. It's an error car. And so you guys, I know you can see that. So glad to have these, because I collect this this casting also. So I'm gonna add that to my 55 Chevys. And then my last video, I was gonna show this because I picked it up off Marketplace, off this gal. I picked up another Chase. Like this is the Coke color site. I really don't like the Coke livery, especially the pink stuff, but I collect all of the Broncos from M2, including Chases and stuff. So I picked this one up for a pretty good price. Not much more than what she paid for it in the store. So I appreciate her helping me out with these Chases. Otherwise I wouldn't be able to find them, and I'd have to go to eBay. And so it's really a help to get a good price and locally, so you don't have to worry about any shipping. Did find this Bronco finally at my local Walmart. Glad to have this for the collection. I'm gonna crack this open, but I'm not gonna crack it open on the video because I don't want to make this too long. And then picked this one up. This is Carlisle Nationals out back east, and they have a big car show, and every time they do a show, they do one or two show only cars. So this is I think, I can't remember what this is as far as count goes. So anyway, probably read it there. I think it's 1,000. It's the Bronco 2 from M2, 60th anniversary of the Bronco. So very, very cool piece to have in the collection. And I'll be keeping this on card. To me, this is almost like a Chase. So I keep this with my Chases Broncos. And then I got a mail call, and I know what this is. So here's the box. So it's been well packed. I picked this up off of eBay. You know, basically what I do is I go in and I watch auctions, and I have a set amount that I am willing to pay with shipping. And if I don't get it, then I just move on to the next one, because there's always postings for these Chases and stuff. So a lot of good packing here. Get rid of this box, wrapped up really nice. The seller actually told me, he says, well, I want to get this out to you as soon as possible, because I think I want it on a Sunday. So he says, I'm going out of town Tuesday. If you make the payment, then I'll get it out to you before I go on vacation. So glad to have this one. There's a local guy here he wants $50 for it, and I paid way less than $50 for this. So another Bronco to add to the stable, Chase. I don't have the regular, but I don't like the paint scheme on it, so I'm not going to pick it up. But am glad to have this in the Bronco Chase collection. And then I found this one. I've been waiting, I've been dying for this one. So my last video, I said that M2 has come out with a 80s Ford 4x4 dually crew cab, and the first one that came out was just kind of regular height. This one is actually lifted, and it also is celebrating the 60 year of the Bronco. So nice to have this in my collection. I am going to crack this open and put this on display. So I'll probably be doing less Silverado of this and more of the Fords once they start coming out. And I don't know if you guys have ever noticed, but when M2 comes out with a new casting, they just kind of flood the market for a while. And they just keep coming out with them in different paint schemes and whatnot, and lowered, raised, and stuff like that. So I'm expecting a whole flood of this casting to come out. But I'm so glad finally that it's come out. And then I just have this last one. My buddy Chris still belongs to the Red Line Club, and he sent me a text and said, hey, do you want this? And I said, heck yeah, I want that. Of course I want that. And he just laughed. So we met up the other day, and I picked this up from him, and he got two of them. And so basically I just paid $35 for this. Good deal for me. So now I don't have to buy a secondary market. I'm glad I have a few friends that just kind of look out for me and help me out with stuff like this. So I am going to crack this open. It is the 62 Ford pickup. I've been waiting for this one to come out. I have the other four, so this one will be joining his brothers on display. And shall we crack this thing open? Yes, we shall. So anyway, big shout out to Chris. He doesn't watch my videos, but I appreciate you, brother, for helping me out with this stuff. He asked me if I was interested in the next one that was coming out, the VW, and I'm like, no, not really. So I'm an American guy classic. So anyway, here you go. It's got the 6-cylinder, straight six, shown that off before, but look at that paint. Oh, that color. It's just so cool. It's amazing. I don't want to drop it. The detail on this and stuff. And so even though I don't like the Red Line Club, so the cars that they make are really cool, and they're nice cars, well done and stuff. But the Red Line Club itself just absolutely stinks on how they do things and stuff. I wish they would come up with a better way. to sell these cars, but unfortunately nobody has come up with an idea. And if I had an idea, I'd send them my idea, but I don't know either. But it's got to be some way to not a household have 5 or 6 accounts that they can buy this. So I don't know how actually they would do this. I'm sure that these guys would find a way around it anyway, so they can buy these cars and then sell them for double what they paid for them. But anyway, so glad to add this one to the 60s Ford collection. Oh, this thing's just awesome. Just awesome. So anyway, guys, that's going to do it for me today. Hope you guys had a nice Father's Day. Went down to see my son and my daughter-in-law, my 2 grandsons down in Wilcox, and saw this really cool, I'll try to post it. I don't know if you guys want to check it out, but so it's a big wine area down there. So the guy in town is, he's got this warehouse down there that he does wine tasting. And it used to be an old Chevy dealership. So he bought the building from the guy, and the guy has, you know, a good collection of cars, but he let the guy keep it in the garage there at the wine tasting building. And it is a original 1967 Nicky Camaro. And the thing is just, and it's still all original paint. It's got the torque thrust wheels on it. It's a 427 4-speed car. And it's just an amazing piece of machinery. And I don't know, some of you guys might remember this back in the day. They had ladder bars, and then they had like torsion bars, which was kind of a square piece that mounted to the axle to keep axle wrap from happening, and had a big black rubber piece on the front underneath the spring. So had those on it, jacked up a little bit, but just a beautiful, beautiful car. I'll post some pictures on it if you guys are interested in seeing it. So anyway, that was fun. And then I'm really looking forward to celebrating America's birthday. I love this country. I love what it stands for, even though there are people out there that hate this country and think it's the worst place to live. So you gotta ask yourself a question: why does everybody want to come here to live? That's the main question. You have freedom. Most other countries, you don't have the freedom to say and do the things that you can't do in other countries, because you could bring death on yourself or imprisonment. So people should be thankful for this country, the freedom that comes with it, and all that is sacrificed since then to make this country what it is today. So God bless America, and hope you guys have a good celebration next weekend. Probably won't be doing a video. Of course, I don't know at this point, but I was at Costco and I bought this huge box. It's like this tall. I'm looking at it right now, about this wide, about this thick, of just fireworks, because we're going to do it right this year. We're going to be out there for hours popping all this stuff off. So as always, may the Lord be with you. May he watch over you and your family. Hope you have some luck out there, finding what you're looking for. And vaya con Dios.